In this video, we're going to show you to install the turn signal stock on your Ford F-150, located on the left side of the steering column. Now on the driver's side here, I want to go ahead and start by tilting down the steering wheel. Now, right in front of the gauge cluster itself, there's going to be a panel that's just up above the steering column. What you want to do is go ahead and lift up on both sides. You can use a thin flathead screwdriver or a trim tool to get inside and pop this up. You're going to find a seam right here, lift up, and do the same on the other side. Now at this point here, what we're going to do is we're going to put our key into the ignition, turn it to the on position, and simply going to turn our wheel to the side like so. We're going to use our thin screwdriver here and we want to go in and we want to separate the upper cover from the lower cover. Pop that up. We're going to repeat this on the other side. So what you want to do is go ahead and crank that steering wheel the other way and release the other side. You lift that whole component right up and out. Now we're going to go ahead and straighten out our wheel, raise it up, and lock it back in place. Now we're going to transition to the bottom portion of the steering column. There's going to be 3 screws. There's one here, here, and here. We're going to use a 7/32 socket with our stubby ratchet to go ahead, loosen, and remove. All right, so we are going to undo or turn our ignition key back and pull that out. Going to take this cover and work that out. Now right here is your turn signal stock, and there's going to be 2 T10 Torx bits, one here, one here. I'm just going to use my stubby ratchet, a little extension, and we'll get on in there. I want to get and loosen and remove these. Now we're going to be using these screws again, so make sure you don't lose them. Now you do want to make sure that the signal lever is in its neutral position. Grab it and pull it straight out. Now you'll know it's in its neutral position if you turn the lever. You can see that this arm pops out, moves up and down. When installing the new component, you also want to make sure that that is in its neutral position. And it is. All we want to do is go ahead and line this up, insert it, push it in, make sure it's fully seated, install your screws. I'm going to start both of these screws by hand, and then we'll come back and snug them down later. Now when tightening this down, you pretty much want to just bottom out the screw. It doesn't have to be super tight. You do want it to be bottomed out, maybe just a tiny bit more. Let's go ahead and position our lower cover. Backing up. Go ahead and install the 3 screws in the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and put it onto the extension and socket. Feed that up and in. I like to go ahead and get all 3 of these started by hand first. Then we'll come on back and use our ratchet to snug them down. Now when that bottoms out, just give it a little bit more. You just want it to be snug. Go ahead and feed our cover down into position. Make sure we get our boot in position here. You do have to make sure that this rubber boot on the gear selector is lined up, because if it's not, the cover is not going to fit on properly. There we go. And we have that together there. Our boot is on. And then we just have to line up the upper cover, snap that in, adjust your steering wheel, and you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.